You're scared, huh?
Oh, me?
A tragic tale, brother. A little confused and badly constructed.
Finish your drink while I examine this sad plot. I disapprove of your death, Mr. Engel.
There was a time when he was in the wheelchair. And that was definitely misleading because he wanted to give them what they wanted. Think that he was down and out and sick and everything, but if you really look at that picture in the wheelchair, he's sitting up.
And that was before the tour, wasn't it? Before he announced the tour.
Yeah, because they were saying that he wasn't healthy and this and that. And it was the type of Willy Wonka act where he was going to, he's coming down the red carpet with the cane. All of a sudden he goes and does his thing and he say, "I'm back." He was the master showman as well. This was one of Michael's stunts because look at his posture. He's sitting up, saying that he had problems with lungs and this and that, and he wasn't healthy. He was dancing 4 hours a day. It was his way of manipulating the press. Michael was the master of manipulation, especially the press, because he knew they were on to him, and also he was the ultimate showman. But when you look at this picture clearly, you will see that he's sitting up. He's not slouched.
A prank by a local disc jockey scares some Michael Jackson fans. The DJ reported that the King of Pop had died from a drug overdose. It was a joke, but not everybody's laughing. Chris Ellis is here with what people are saying about the hoax. Chris.
Well, Antoinette, here in our newsroom, we got a flood of calls from people wanting to know if it was true and asking why we weren't reporting the death of a music icon. The short answer is we didn't report it because it didn't happen.
The hoax happened yesterday on 97.7 The Wild. It's a rhythm and blues station owned by American General Media. A DJ reported on the air that the 50-year-old moonwalker had died from an overdose. We left a message with the program director, but he never called us back. A man who answered the phone at the station, as well as several viewers, confirmed the prank.
Well, I think it's pretty cold if it's not true, if they're just spreading that as a rumor.
It seems pretty irresponsible reporting. It's not really funny to play around with things like that, somebody's life or if they're deceased or not.
When it hit the airwaves late yesterday afternoon, many hardcore Michael Jackson fans were distraught.
I would never take it as true just because I heard it on the radio. I mean, I would certainly try to verify it, see if it were really true.
One man wrote us an email saying that it was a tasteless joke that upset a lot of people. The DJ who pulled the stunt has reportedly been reprimanded.
It doesn't seem like that big of a deal because I feel like, you know, with celebrities, people are always making up stories.
I don't think anything should happen to them. I think they need to find something better to do.
We did some digging and found what might be the beginning of the rumor turned prank. A Jackson biographer told British newspapers yesterday that Jackson was seriously ill. Jackson's spokesperson says the singer is in fine health.
you like to be buried in something like this?
No, I don't ever want to be buried.
Really?
No.
What would you like to happen to you?
I would like to live forever.
Of course, naturally, I saw things on the other side, too. Things that weren't working well. Things I didn't like.
Oh, yes, we make mistakes. Our method is experimental. Trial and error.
Michael said to himself that he would be killed, and he told his mother that, because he's afraid that he was afraid to even do all of these shows, because he was afraid that he wouldn't get a chance to finish all of those shows, because he couldn't. You don't do all those shows back to back. Even his kids say that he had told them that he would be murdered.
Because first of all, Michael told me that they were going to murder him.
Just before his death, Michael Jackson told a record producer, that would be you, that he was terrified he'd be murdered.
I only remember saying a few things of, I spoke to LaWanda and Terrell Jackson, and I said, I don't believe this is happening, and he kind of quoted a few things. He mentioned a few times that, if anything was to happen to me, these are the people, or whatever, different things like that. And I spoke to the family personally and just said, listen, this is not real. This is something shaky is going, But I never say, directly to order that, he was murdered, this is happening, and that quote there, no.
I wonder how they picked up that you had said anything.
Yes, sir. I need an ambulance as soon as possible, sir. Yes.
Okay, sir. What's the phone number you're calling from? Okay, sir. And what's the foster document have?
Sir, we have a gentleman here that needs help, and he's not breathing yet. He's not breathing, and we're trying to pump him, but he's not.
Okay. Okay. How old is he?
He was telling me that he was afraid that he was going to end up like my father. He was always asking me about when he died and how it happened and when it happened and where. And he said, I feel like I'm going to end up the same way.
And did you say why?
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? And I don't understand, down to the play-by-play incident was identical.
The author of this book, Is Elvis Alive? Gail Brewer Giorgio believes that Elvis staged his own death and is still alive today. In 1977, she began writing a novel based on this premise called Orion.
Well, it was August 16th, 1977, and I, like most of the world, had heard that Elvis Presley had died. About 3 days later, after writing several articles on Elvis for the newspaper, I decided to write a novel. It was called Orion. It's a fictional story of a superstar who hoaxes his own death. I wanted to try to capture the soul or the essence of someone like Elvis Presley. Orion was ultimately sold to Simon & Schuster. I received a large advance of $60,000. There was going to be a big PR promotion, etc., on this book, and the book was released.
This thing called love, well, I just can't handle it. This thing called love, I must get around to it. I ain't ready. Crazy little thing called love. This thing.
And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? A little too ironic. Yeah, I really do think.
And that's all I had to say about that.